Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Adjacent. Very near, next to, or touching. Our tailgate is adjacent to the left field fence. ADJACENT. Adjacent.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. We have a little friend who is a little under the weather today, but we are going to power through it because she is going to give us some psychic healing energy. Let's do an together. Who do we have in the studio today? That's right. We are in Record ATX Studios up north in Austin. So who do we have today, Shelly?
We have a very good friend of mine. I love her. I met her in the neighborhood. Not going to tell you how, but Nicole Parish.
Nicole Parish. Nicole is a multifaceted diamond. We like to use that term for people who have so many skills aspects to themselves. Today we are going to be
and she looks gorgeous. I wish I'm going to have to take a picture. We'll take a picture and send it.
Oh, I do love that.
Yeah, she looks very sexy.
You have beautiful skin, bright eyes.
She is the light.
So today we're tapping into Nicole's psychic energies. And I'm so excited because I have so many things to ask you. But first off, let's do some basic things.
Yes.
What is your sign?
So I am Aquarius with Cancer moon and Leo rising.
Okay, explain all that to us because we're very
basic
surface
bitches.
Level. We are basic bitches on this.
I'm a Virgo.
So you get things done.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I surround myself with a lot of people who are well versed in astrology. I am not well versed, but it's just in the field since I work in metaphysics. And so for Aquarius, I am very adventurous. I go with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm very connected spiritually. And for the people who actually know what Aquarians are, they could be like, oh, sister, there's so much more to it than that. But that's just what I think of. For my Cancer moon, I'm very homebody, very connected with my emotions.
Yeah.
And Leo rising, just think Madonna is a Leo. So like out there, I love hearing people's stories and also sharing my own stories.
Yeah.
I love public. I love, even though I get nervous before I teach my classes, but always once I get in there, I'm like, oh, this is so good. I love being up front, sharing what I know, people taking what speaks to them and then leaving the rest behind. And then I love hearing other people's stories as well.
Oh, same.
And
I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of
talking.
it.
Basically, I love talking. I love listening.
Yeah.
So that combo and the connecting. So for me, being a psychic medium, I've been psychic my whole life. I love connecting with things that I can see and things that I can't see.
So when you say
I love that. Thank you already. I'm like,
I know, this is incredible. I do. Everything you're saying is resonating with us because our whole point of our podcast is connecting people together. So I think the connection is really key.
That's why we've always been like, I love you.
When you were talking about teaching classes, what classes do you teach?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like you have many classes.
Yes. So first of all, I would like to step back from the classes and just say what I do. First.
Yes.
So I'm a psychic medium. So a person who's psychic or an intuitive reader reads information from what is coming off of
Your
a person.
aura.
Yes. So your aura or hearing things or sensing things in their body, maybe sensing emotions or physical sensations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a psychic, but I'm also a medium. Medium means that I talk with people who've crossed over. So when Shelly, if I was giving a session with you, which someday I would love to give a session, and Jody just
Let's
love
do
that.
it.
So how
I feel
do
every
it
time
is,
I'm in your energy, I'm like, oh, so much healing.
Oh, thank you.
That's really good.
Thank you.
That's a good feeling.
That's so sweet, dear. So Shelly, if I'm giving you a session, I have my spirit team who I'm using my arms, even though you can't see. I'm pointing above and behind me. My spirit team is behind me, and I see your spirit team above you and slightly behind you. And so I see your spirit guides in a certain area to your right. If angels come in, I see them come in right above you. If helpers come in, I see them a little bit to your right. And loved ones who've crossed over, I see over on the far right. Loved ones who've crossed over, grandma, grandpa, great cousin, whoever it might be, they come in differently than other spirits. And also deities might come in, or saints might come in, or archangels might come in. And I've had the pleasure of meeting so many amazing people and beings who are the everyday, like, oh, I see that you have a helper here who was an author back in the 1700s. We don't know that person's name, but this being or this person is helping my client right now.
Oh my God.
Where another time I remember this woman came in, new client. I think she was in Australia, and because I have clients around the world, which I'm so happy. Thank you, Zoom. Thank you, COVID, that started that one. The acknowledging the challenges of COVID, but COVID also really upped my business
There's some
so
good
much.
and bad that can
Yes, because people are used to now doing videos. So this woman from Australia, I opened up, and right when I open up psychically, I start getting information right away. And I said, oh, St. Bridget is in for you. And she goes, yes, I called her in. I wanted St. Bridget to be here. And then St. Bridget corrected me because I was saying her name incorrectly. It's St. St. Bridget or something like that. And it was really, really
She's actually like, don't Americanize my name.
Do not do that. And it was really beautiful meeting that saint. And so I've met not that many saints, but when I've met them, it's really powerful experiences for me, because part of also how I get my information is through emotions. So I can see spirits. First time I saw a spirit, I was 3 years old.
Wow.
I can talk with spirits and hear them and talk with them.
Did that scare you
Well,
when you were 3?
The 3 years old was terrifying, because even though usually I say the first time I saw a spirit, it was actually an entity that I saw. And we can talk about that later if you want. It's entities are it's one of my specialties, clearing entities, demonic, low vibrational energies, attachments, curses, hexes, jinx. Yeah, it's one of my specialties. I get very, very excited about. So I have the pleasure of meeting a lot of different beings and being able to connect with so many people. And so your original question, Jody, was about my classes.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to just say, like, what I do in general as a psychic medium. I connect with people's spirit guides. Some of my specialties are medical intuition, which we can talk about in a little bit. Clearing entities. And then also I've had the honor of helping find missing children or missing people or solving murder cases. We can talk about that in a little bit if you want to. But yeah, some of them sent me to therapy, actually.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, as a medium and a spiritual guide, does it weigh on you, and how do you protect yourself from all of the basically you're having secondary traumas placed on you?
Thank you for saying that and being aware of that. So, and you were a teacher, right? So you've experienced a lot of secondary trauma, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Hearing some of these beloved students, what they're going through at home or whatever it might be, or just anyone just in our lives, and we see some really intense things happening, even if it's not happening to us, we can experience the trauma and go into trauma responses, fight, flight, pause, freeze. Yeah. And so
she lives in Fawn.
Well, it's the most common. It's the most common trigger response, and it's the most common for children as well. And what I say about trauma responses is it is so smart, and I get emotional over this. It is so smart that our brain is figuring out every millisecond what the safest way to be in each moment. It is so brilliant of us. Disassociating, so effing brilliant.
Yeah.
Fawning, so effing brilliant.
Yeah.
As we gather more information of the situation.
Yeah.
And for women and young children, fawning is the number one response.
Absolutely.
And it's such a smart response. And as we gather information, we might go back and change how we're responding or get ourselves out of that situation or whatever, or go to therapy or whatever it is, or disconnect from that person if they're in an ongoing relationship with us. But as far as when I'm with clients or working with murder cases or something like that, I do sometimes go to a therapist over something that came up in a certain situation.
Right.
Because part of how I get information is through emotions.
Mm-hmm. Deep breath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm working with someone who is in an abused relationship, a woman, a man, a child, whoever it might be, not only do I hear them with my ears like you do and see them with my eyes, I'm also feeling some of the emotions that they're going through. I'm feeling some of the biological responses that they might be going through because I also feel things on a physical level. I'm also seeing flashes like a movie clip of things that have happened and possible things that will happen. And then I also can smell part of my messages and taste part of my messages. So if I'm working with demonic, I will smell acidic or sulfur.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but just sometimes. And that's like, oh, that's valuable information. Okay. I think there's a demon in the area. And so I'm working with someone who is being abused or who was assaulted violently or whatever it might be. I'm getting information in a lot of different ways. And Jody, you asked such a great question. How do you protect yourself?
Yes, because I'm just thinking about you going through the grocery store and feeling like
all the
it's
like the Green Mile, like walking through and
it is like the Green Mile,
and you're absorbing all of it.
How do you?
But you present so at peace and beautiful
and open to it, and open.
Thank you. So, one might think that I'm open, but I'm not. I actually spent decades closing.
Okay.
So there are some people who come to my intuitive development classes. I have intuitive development classes. I have group psychic. I gave a group psychic reading in the building right over from this one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So a group of people will get together and ask me to give them a reading, or I just post one and then like 20 people show up and I give a reading or whatever it is. And then I've given classes on crystals and given classes with my friend Barbara Rowling, and I give classes on clearing energetic hygiene. And so I have a lot of different classes, and
I want to take that class 100%.
Totally. Energetic hygiene is one of my favorite things, actually, is clearing our energetic system while strengthening our energetic boundaries. I did not know how to do this.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
It's totally a thing. We're raised to, our parents teach us how to brush our teeth, wash our clothes, shower or bathe or shower, and do all these different things to clean our physical bodies and clean our area.
And there's now talk of...
now there's talk of, well, how do you clear and cleanse your energetic body? And what I do with young people, with children versus teenagers versus adults, I will say different things, but I find actually what I tell children works for everything. Works for everything. Or everyone. And sometimes people resonate more with my wording for children. Like I might have a 50-year-old man who goes, "Oh, I like what you just said to my 4-year-old son." I was like, "Great, use it." So many times when people come to my development classes, they're asking how to open up. That's the common thing. How to open up, how to develop their abilities. And I was in that category of, how do I close down? How do I shut down? Or I actually want to change my wording. I don't want to say close down, but how do I shield? How do I put protection up? So I say that the energetic field around us, our aura, and the energetic wall. So it's like we have an egg shape around us that goes 3 to 6 feet out beyond our body. And that's our aura. It expands and contracts as we go about the day. If I'm going into Walmart, that aura is tucked close.
Down.
Is close.
Have you seen those TikToks where people are like pooping on the Walmart aisles and stuff? I don't know if I can handle.
I have not. However, I used to say, as an example about energetic hygiene and strengthening boundaries, I was like, you may have experienced the Walmart ooze.
Yeah.
Which is, I walk into Walmart freshly showered, speaking kindly to my children, thinking positively about myself, ready to go for the day.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get my 5 items. As I walk into Walmart, I can feel a wall, which feels like energetic goo. It's just ooze, right?
I felt it.
By the time I'm leaving Walmart, I'm thinking negatively about myself.
Myself.
My hair is greasy. I'm speaking poorly to my children.
Yes.
I call that the Walmart ooze.
And you bought
And
like
it's not-
30 items instead of 5.
And it's not an attack on Walmart, because I feel the same way at Target. I feel the same way
No, it's
at
really-
at other places.
It's that energy.
So yeah, it's a lot of energy. I have a very hard time going into the mall. The times I go to the mall is with
Somebody
our dear.
spraying shit at you. It's like, God
No,
damn
like,
it.
stop. The times I go in the mall, I protect myself more, and then I'm like, yes, I can do this, and I enjoy myself. And
How
I
did
can
you
only-
teach yourself to
Well,
That is a very good class that people need in this day and age.
Yes.
With the energies that are,
I mean,
there's
even
some great
family
energy
events,
coming
it's
out.
Like, I need a shield today.
Yeah.
yes. So it's interesting. You said family events. So like I said, sometimes groups of people will hire me to give a group reading. I've given numerous group readings at funerals. Like right after the funeral, right before the funeral, because all the generations are there. And they want to talk with their loved one. They want to talk with their loved one. I just did one in Austin a couple of months ago, and it was beautiful. So it was in person. The other ones have all been over Zoom, and it is so touching having that loved one who just crossed over give messages to the family members. And some messages are very specific, like hey,
you're an asshole,
remember.
you're an asshole.
Oh, it is interesting. I did one family, and it was 4 generations. So we're talking grandchildren to great grandparents. So I drop the F-bomb a lot, and I swear a lot. I really curtail
That's why we
my
love each
swearing.
other.
Thank you so much. I fucking love you, Shelly.
I fucking love you.
and I joke that I'm like the swearing psychic. But I curtail my language because I'm around these elders. Well, it turned out it was the elders who swore in this family. And but there was one man I remember. He was the patriarch of the family, and he was a really poorly behaved man. And it was really
You were like,
not on the
came from you.
not in the session. The session, he was very well behaved. So it was, how do I do this wording where it acknowledges his really challenging life, really, really hard life, with him taking his anger out on his family, and his family's right there. So I want to make sure he can save face. And yet, when I get information, sometimes the guides will give me information, such as medical information. They're like, we're telling you this, but don't tell the client this particular thing. They're going to find it out, but we're telling you because they're going to come back to you.
Okay.
But we want you to guide them into going to get their colonoscopy, but don't tell them they actually have colon
so
cancer.
you're at a funeral.
So I'm at this funeral.
Hi.
And so, yes.
My name's Nicole, and you need to go get a colonoscopy right now.
So the colonoscopy is a different thing. But when I was doing but that was just an example of what I might be given information, but to not share it. But most of the time when I'm given information, I wholly trust these spirit guides, my spirit guides, their spirit guides, that if they're giving me information, they want me to share it.
Yeah.
And so it was whatever wording I used, whatever wording they gave me to lovingly call the man on his shit in front of his family, literally in front of his family, but really lovingly, like something like, I don't remember the wording, but hey, I noticed that sometimes you have a challenging time with holding onto your anger, and it might go out towards some people you love. And you may want to consider getting some assistance, some help for you, and also that will make the people around you, their lives easier, or whatever it might be. And I saw some people in the room tense up, and I saw some people in the room relax, and some people nodding their head. And then
to watch all of
and
that
and he goes,
journey.
yeah, I do have problems with my anger. And I go, and I can see that some of where it comes from, and it's understandable. It's really understandable. You have challenging, and we live in 2020. It was 2024. We live in 2024. There's so much assistance you can get right now.
I know.
So it's just these. I get a lot of information, and it's figuring out the wording for things and also when I'm in official psychic space, I have immense compassion. I can see someone who I'm not actually a fan of. In the daily life, and then they reach out and get a session with me, and I know I'm going to fucking love them during that session.
Oh, yeah.
My heart opens up to all my
mainly
clients.
because don't you feel like when you have access to other people's like traumas, their ACEs, it kind of helps you get a perspective on them instead of like I always tell people, like, if somebody's getting in front of me or honking at me in traffic, they must have something really important to do. And I am in the way and I'm just doodling along, not thinking about it. But you are like the knowledgeable person that is like, well, obviously this is what's going on. So if you're at a funeral, at a wedding, at a class, you're seeing beyond just the surface of our physical.
Even when you're a little shielded, you're still going a little deeper than most of us go.
Yeah.
May I ask you, I thought our spiritual guides were like our ancestors. Who are our spiritual guides?
Yeah, that's a great question.
So
I will say whatever I'm about to say, I might change my mind in a year. So this is my current perspective, and people's definitions
because things
are
are evolving all the time.
Evolving, and people's definitions, my definition of entity is very different than some other people's definitions of entity.
Course.
And they're both accurate.
Yeah.
So as far as spirit guides, what I see is everyone has one main spirit guide that is with them before they come into this human body, is with them during their human body, and then when they cross over.
Is it the previous capsule person, like whatever was in...
Oh, if they are living a new life.
Yeah.
Like if they are...
Previous, like this capsule, I don't know if this...
When you say capsule, what's your definition
this
there?
Body,
oh, this
the
body.
Physical body.
And not even the physical body, but like the
soul?
Whatever was previous. Is that the spirit guide or is it?
So no, that's not how I see it. It's a great question. How I see it is... that
I'm sorry. So you're saying, am I guiding myself through all my lives? That is so Virgo of you, by the way.
I think that's what you were saying, was it? No, I don't think
and it's not the body per se. It's the being. Is like,
again, that's so Virgo of you. I am going to guide myself through all of the different things. Where's my calendar? How do I get into the metaphysical and into the physical? And
so funny.
Well, then I have to ask you about how many times people have lived on Earth. Okay.
Oh, that's an interesting one as well.
Yeah. Okay, go.
So, because there's walk-ins, there's all. It's so interesting. So, this main spirit guide, I see us as peers. I see us as two friends working together.
Okay.
We won the lottery that we chose to be in this physical body.
Okay.
And we got to be in here because there are a lot of spirits who want to be on Earth, from my understanding, who aren't able to be in here because
they're like me.
Yeah, me. and they can't. So we won the lottery for this.
Yeah.
And that they have more access to wisdom, knowledge, experiences than we
Agreed.
do. And we have more access to the human experience.
They're like, go.
So they're like, turn right, get that job, like whatever it might be, they'll give us guidance and help. But they can't actually step in except on certain things. Like, say, if we go a certain way, we might get a car accident and die. They're like, nope, not on my
Not
ship.
today, clown.
This is not your window of death
But
right
I
now.
feel that because there are times when I'm like looking down at something and I look up just in the nick of time.
Oh, yeah.
Your
Or
spiritual
I'm
guide's
crossing
going.
I know.
Yeah.
I literally
Look up,
feel
look
it. And
up.
I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, thank you,
Spiritual.
Lord,
Yes.
or mom or dad.
Thank
or
you for saying thank
whoever,
you.
But it's
know.
not. It's not. It's not family.
So family's very connected as well. So
Sure.
your grandmother has crossed over? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh.
So because I can feel her, and
Oh,
so
I bet.
so family out, and so family's very much connected with
Yeah.
people to different amounts, different degrees, and different time periods. So
Yeah.
when my dad crossed over 11 years ago, he was, oh my gosh, it was effing great. He would come in during
Is
sessions,
my dad here?
and
It's not about you right now.
so no, that's okay. Give me his name.
William or Bill.
Okay. So Bill feels like he's right over here, which is really, really interesting. So I am going to say, I always feel loved ones over here on a person's far, far left, but he has shown up in your spirit guide category.
Oh, yeah.
So our main spirit guide is not a family member, but we have other spirit guides, and sometimes a family member will go
Just
into
like
that
telling the
spirit
spirit
guide.
guide.
So just because he's shown up over here on your right
Thank you,
side,
Dad.
that tells me that he has stepped into a spirit guide.
Thank you.
And so I feel him more right now. So I'm getting emotional. So there's some
bringing it back to
information.
what you
Yeah.
were saying.
He just gave me some information about you that we can talk about later if you would like to.
Oh,
It is not.
Go ahead.
No,
Okay.
I want to
it
go
is-
back to
Yeah,
what
it is.
she
It
was
is for a
saying.
later,
Okay,
a later
okay.
thing.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Having to, when I get information, it comes through me and then leaves me, so I forget it. It's not like the information comes from my mind.
No.
So I'm just going to say something to remind me.
Okay.
It's about babies. Okay?
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Great.
You're pregnant.
No. You just shoot yourself in the head.
Shooting her spirit.
I know. So, Jody, what was your question?
My question was, when you're dealing with I can't even remember. I think it was like
The
about the
spirit
spirit
guide.
guides. And then how do you like deal with those with you? And then how do you make sure? I've heard that some spirit guides
A
might be a little
liar.
trickstery or something. How do you like weed out like this is authentic, this is not?
Mhm. That is a great question. So, spirit guides I've not found to be trickery.
No.
Spirits, yes,
Mhm.
very much so.
An attachment. I
An
would
attachment.
suppose.
So, guides I find to be very compassionate, very loving, maybe humorous, maybe silly.
Yeah.
Often will show a part of the person's personality by they will come up as being goofy, and then I go, "Oh, you're goofy, Shelly."
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
because one of your guides just showed me Goofy, as
Yeah.
in the Warner Brothers.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that Warner Brothers? Disney?
Yeah,
Whichever,
yeah,
one of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Like
Very
they just showed me,
goofy.
and then I was like, "Oh, okay, I know that you're goofy."
Wow.
So your guide may or may not be goofy themselves, but they present as goofy for a moment, and then they let me feel their other stuff. Trickster spirits are a different thing, and they can come in a lot of different forms. They could be ghosts, they could be entities, they could be spirits. It's a whole other category there.
So, and then I've heard that there are things that kind of attach themselves to people that
Yes.
you have to kind of get rid of them in some
Mhm.
form.
Yeah.
How do you get rid of those attachments that are really maybe messing up your aura, maybe messing up your path?
Okay. So, this is such a big subject that I just closed my eyes for a moment and talked with my spirit guide and asked him advice as to how to start this. So, and his advice and
your spirit guide primarily is a man.
yeah. So
Okay.
his name is Sun, like sun in the sky. Sun.
Aw,
That's
hi, Sun.
not his.
Love
Thank you for acknowledging it.
that.
That's not his actual name, but that's the name that I resonate
Yeah.
with Kim. So I have.
Well, and it resonates 100%.
Well,
with
you are.
Oh, I hadn't even thought
Oh
about that.
my
Thank
You're like
you.
a
so
ray.
much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So I have 3 spirit guides. Sun is the one that I talk with the most, even though I feel all 3 of my guides here right now. And Sun is here, and I have 2 over there, right there. on my left shoulder and sun is on my right. So when I asked him how to talk about attachments, he said first give some of the signs that someone might have an attachment, which is if someone has other people's low vibrational energy, so not theirs. Someone might have gone into Walmart or gone to work or family members or whatever and picked up someone else's grief or sadness or resentment or anger or things like that. And we care about people and we want to help them. And part of this help sometimes spirit-wise ends up we take on some of their energy. And
so true.
And so it's really helpful to be able to clear some of this.
Yeah.
And then with entities or attachments, thank you. Some of the ways this shows up is someone might have foggy brain. They might feel very anxious. They might feel depressed. They might feel a lot of fear or terror. They might feel low energy. Now, menopause, depression. I mean, that like fits a lot.
There are some physical attributes.
There's a lot of things that could fit those qualities.
But you also need to check in and see if it's
every once in a while it's not that.
Yeah. So a couple of days ago, I was in a great mood. I talked with my son. I got off the phone. I immediately started feeling anxious. And I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, wow, I feel so anxious.
S-O-N.
Yes, my 29-year-old son. Thank you. And I just was, and my anxiety was building a bit. And I was telling my boyfriend, like, this is so weird because I'm not prone to anxiety. And I was going, okay, my bills are paid. I have food. I've slept well. I'm a little concerned for my son because he's going through some stuff right now. But this anxiety is in my stomach and it's sharp feeling. And then I noticed that if I have an entity, and I rarely ever do anymore, but if I do, I get foggy brained and it feels like an octopus is on my head. And the legs or the whatever it's called, the tentacles of the octopus are going down the front of my forehead. For me, I know that's a sign that I have an entity. I'm so grateful when I'm aware of that feeling, that sensation. I mean, it's creepy as fuck, but I'm so grateful because I'm like, oh, I know this. And so I stood in the kitchen. I was in the middle of making myself tea and I was like, oh, I called on my 2 helpers that I call upon to remove entities. And I do everything 100% on light and love vibration. I'm not like, I'm going to jam you to the depths of hell.
No way.
No way.
You had a message for me. I'm listening to it. Thank you for sharing. I'm good.
Yes. And so what I do is I call them to bind, whether it be, it looks like a rope, a lasso around the entity or around the attachment, or encapsulate them in light and love.
Do you visually see all that?
Yeah. And then send them on to wherever's for the highest and best of all concerned. Because that entity or the energy of attachment, whether that entity has consciousness, is non-conscious, or it's simply energy, it is on its own journey. And I'm honoring its journey, but not sending it on that it could harm other people.
And it would probably attach to you because they want, I mean, you're like, get the message out, Dolly. Come on, help us, help others. You know, that attachment is trying to, because you're like the easiest access. You know,
interesting.
Well, you're the most open
about
to
that.
You're capable of doing something with it.
Yeah. So I'm doing something with it, and it can happen for a lot of different reasons. Yeah. I got a cold, and so sometimes when people are sick, sometimes our energetic fields are more porous.
Yeah.
So I got an attachment. And it's like, it's not a big deal, but it used to be a big deal when I didn't know how to handle it. And I would have spikes of anxiety or fear. And I'm not,
I feel like I have an attachment right now.
Out. We can do a clearing.
Okay.
And here's the thing. When I do clearings, I always do them out loud so that people hear them. And I mean, yes, there's stuff going on in the background that I'm doing that I'm not saying out loud, but most of the stuff I say out loud. So then you can do it yourself. You don't ever have to come to me, and you can show your children, and you can do whatever. I do want to say also, people with children, we can clear our children if they're below 18. 18 and above, obviously this is, there's a waviness to this.
Of course.
But it's important to ask their permission.
Mm.
So my kids are 23 and 29, and my daughter,
They both know how to do it.
they both know how to do it. But I say every time I clear myself, and then also when I clear a client, I put my kids in there too. But I've gotten permission. About once a year, I reach out to them. Hey, checking in. Do I still have your permission? And the last time my son goes, Mom, when will I ever say no to a clearing?
I mean,
Stop
who
asking.
would say no to a clearing?
But I'm still going to ask them.
I love this entity.
But I'm
bringing
still
me
gonna-
such good energy.
I still ask them because they are in charge of their own energy. And at some point, they may be like, Mom, don't touch my energetic field without me consciously knowing.
Well,
Just
that would
ask
be
me
my
beforehand.
May I say, when I said that if I were an entity, I would try to approach you because you're connectable, but I understand your spiritual guides are not tolerating it. They're not.
Well, can I ask you? So
I'm not saying you're an easy mark.
I
just
did not
think-
feel that you were saying I was an easy
at all.
mark.
I just feel like if I were an entity, I would be like, where's Nicole?
If I was an entity, I wouldn't want to come to me.
Well,
Unless part of
she has
their
those permanent
journey,
shields, though.
yeah.
unless part of their journey was
release
evolving
themselves.
up.
Yeah, to release themselves from that state.
May I
Yep.
say that me, Jody, and another sister went and saw a psychic.
Oh, wonderful.
Karen. It
Yes,
was
Karen.
it
Karen.
was-
She's well known. Psychic Karen.
She is locally. I
I
don't know if
don't
it's Karen.
remember.
But
I don't
it
remember.
was
But it was
very impressionable.
interesting. Yeah, I
it was like-
remember the
I don't
experience.
remember.
I don't remember.
it was for our other sister's birthday. It was very important to her.
I love doing that.
I know, it was so fun. And she she was like, you have like 5 attachments. You have like 2 attachments. She goes, nothing's attaching to this. And I was like, exactly.
Except for today.
Except for I feel like I
That
have
is
an attachment right
So
now.
funny. So also attachments, sometimes people are using words attachments, they mean entities. Sometimes
Yes.
they mean low vibrational energies.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sometimes they mean that someone sent an attachment to them.
that's what I've heard.
And then sometimes
Rude.
attachments, right? And then sometimes attachments can be that you have a cord or a connection with someone. So one of the things that
An umbilical cord that you have not severed.
could be.
And Dad's like,
And
my
so-
dad's like going, child.
But I want to go back real quick. So you got the cold.
I'm sorry,
from-
you're going to have to come in like every week.
I know. You got
Would
the
love to.
cold from your son's attachment or entity.
No, I got the cold, and then my energetic field was a bit more porous or open.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But then was your son okay? I just want to make sure your son's okay.
Thank you very much. So my son's going through some stuff that people go through in their lives.
Yeah.
And so I am guessing he has an attachment.
Right.
And so I will reach out to him today to say, hey, can I do a clearing? Even though he's gotten permission, he's given me permission.
You still
on
want to ask.
this one,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he needs to have some more consciousness about it.
Okay.
Do you think some people attract the
Yes.
attachments
Yes.
and crave and want the
No one's ever asked that before. This is a juicy topic. So first of all, I used to attract entities because I
Mhm.
was very, very open, and there's nothing bad about being
That's
open.
what I
It
was saying.
just-
I would assume
yeah,
you would be like,
I used to
you have this like,
absolutely attract. I know I had a motel vacancy sign free if you invite a friend. Like
Yeah.
I
Open,
I went a
open,
BOGO.
open, 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 open.
Exactly. So sometimes when I'm working with clients and they have a really intense attachment, really intense, like one that will actually bring a little fear up in me, whether it be entity or a demon.
Demon.
And sometimes when that happens, I can tell that they will not be able to release because even though I'm bringing in the tools, they themselves have to say to the thing, go away. I no longer want you. And so often it will take a minimum of 3 sessions to clear the really, really intense. And I don't come upon the intense stuff very often. Most times it's like, let's clear it in 20 minutes. We're good to go. And then you have the tools and you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
And, but it can take a minimum of 3 sessions. I say it's like leaving an abusive relationship. That in that abusive
If you
relationship,
can leave an abusive relationship in 3 sessions, that's great.
Actually, that is good. But imagine
That is good.
someone comes up to you and they know that you're being abused by your spouse, and that person's like, leave now, leave now, leave now. Well, that would actually be dangerous to leave right. They need to prepare. They need to get the kids ready. They need to get their paperwork and ready. They need to have their therapists and their community supporting them. They need to have a way out. And they need to, inside their minds and their hearts, say, I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, they're going to
They're going to get back.
And that's how it is with
so
very,
true.
very intense entities. So I remember
They're like,
one.
I'll take a break.
Right.
I'll be back tomorrow.
No, this is so smart.
I remember one man I was working with, and he's a psychoanalyst in Germany. Side note, the number one profession of people who see me are therapists. I have more therapists than any other profession. I adore my therapists, my counselors,
I would say they're
psychoanalysts.
accessing it deeper. Like
They're
already
like, let's get in there.
They have some open entities over there.
They've done the worldly version.
Yes.
Let's go to the
Would you say
goodness.
they're porous? They have open pores possibly because they're probably allowing a lot of their clients' traumas to kind of infiltrate them a little.
So every person is different on that. Some people are very conscious about clearing after each client.
Yeah.
And even if they're not conscious, they might go out in nature. They might wash their hands. They might take a shower. They might drink clear water and hum or say a prayer. There's a lot of ways we can clear low vibrational energy.
By the way, I have heard you hum multiple times.
You have?
I have.
Me too. I hum all the
when
time.
I've been around you
interesting.
in our social situations, I've heard you just kind of.
All the time.
I do enjoy that. That's interesting. So there are a lot of ways.
I'm a whistler.
Ways. Fascinating. Please don't whistle around me. I have tinnitus and it activates it so hard.
Don't play this.
Don't play this.
Do not play the harmonica. Yes, it just activates me. Remember when we were in Nashville, that damn chicken, and you squeaked the rubber chicken? I was on the floor. I was like, no. And you weren't understanding what was going on. You're like, ha ha. And you're squeezing it more. I'm like, stop.
What an asshole.
It was my attachments.
So you just go home to your honey. It's my attachments. So with this German client, I could tell. I said, oh, your guides are telling me that your mom was in a serious car accident with her father when she was very young, and it was life-threatening, correct? And he goes, yes. And I said, and it changed the trajectory of her life, correct? And he goes, yes. And I said, a demonic energy entered her. Was this demonic? Son, will you remind me, was this demonic? No, it's just a very, very intense entity entered her during that car accident and was with her. And when she gave birth to her son, the entity slowly integrated into the son's life. So he had this entity for his life. And I said, your spirit guides are wanting me to ask you, what are you getting from the entity? And he's like, what? I'm not getting anything. And I said, let's go ahead and take a breath. And just pause, and it may not make logical sense, but what are you getting? And he started crying, and he goes, sometimes I don't feel very powerful in my life, but when I know this thing is standing by me, I feel more powerful.
Wow.
And I'm not as afraid. And I go, yeah. How do we connect with your power and your strength outside of the entity? So the sessions building up to releasing this really intense entity, like it got me a little quivery a couple of times. But those sessions were building up him in preparation for him releasing it. And he was able to release it.
Good.
And I was so grateful to be part of his journey. And he came to me through his therapist. He was seeing his therapist, and his therapist saw what was going on, but didn't have the skills. His therapist had other skills, and his therapist sent him to me. And it was really beautiful to be part of that.
Yeah, what a beautiful, there's recent, and it's very recent, is that your genetic makeup is passed down. Like, if you had traumas, you're sharing those traumas with your kids who are with your grandkids. And so your whole spiritual journey is also part of that. It's like your spiritual guides and attachments. And if they have not been resolved and acknowledged and appreciated and supported, are they moving with your kids? Are they moving on? Like, if you've dealt with your attachments, so your attachments are not with your kids. But if you had an attachment or an entity connected to you, is that genetic, like being passed?
It's a great question. I wouldn't say it's genetic. I don't know if genetic's a word, so I'm going to put genetic just to the side.
Yes.
An entity can can affect multiple people in the same household. And then if a child moves, the entity might move with that child. I want to be really clear to anyone who's listening to this. I'm imagining this can bring up fear in some people. And yet it's the fear of the unknown, because once people understand it more, it's really not something to be afraid. I mean, every now and then I'm quivering. I cleared a 5,000 square foot building that's over 100 years old in a town outside of Austin. That building got me quivering. The demonic presence was so. It was smart of me to be afraid. It was smart. I brought in reinforcements. I have never had someone else come in with me to clear a building, but I did.
As a realtor, I've walked into houses and I was
you just know.
The energy's
you just
way
know.
off.
There are some.
I have some people who will have me clear buildings because homes won't sell, and I will go in and clear the home. And so, yes, it can affect multiple people. And then we have our own ancestral challenges. You can look at families and like, oh, there's addiction through that family line. Oh, this family line, there's codependence. And now those are two things that are very common in our society, but there are other less common things that are flowing through the family line that skip some people, don't skip others. Alcoholism runs rampant in my family. I accidentally got drunk for the very first time when I was 46. And it was an accident. It was really good champagne. Like, it's just, alcohol's not my thing. I look at it and I know, right? Exactly.
It's unavoidable.
I much rather have a piece of cake.
And it was 2 glasses, not 7.
I know, right? I much rather have a piece of cake than drink alcohol. I'm like, that's not worth my calories.
Right.
Give me cake. So yes, things do go down the family line. And also, thank you. And also one of the things just about the ancestors that I just want to put a plug in.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm saying thank you to Son because he just told me to say something. And this is what he said. A reminder or an invitation. Thank you. An invitation. When we think about our ancestors, most of us, at least in our American society, know maybe 2-3 generations back. That's tops. That's all I know.
If we're lucky.
That's all, right?
I don't even know.
However, when we're going through our lives and we're having challenging time, like we're having a really hard time with our child, we don't know what to do, or we're stuck in work, or we're trying to connect with our meaning in life. Like, okay, I'm in my 60s. What the fuck have I done in my life? Where's my passion? Or whatever's going on, you have a wealth. Each of us has a wealth of treasure and knowledge and experience in our family line.
True.
And you can call up your family members, ones you've never heard of, ever heard of, and say, I call upon my ancestors to help me with this particular thing in my life. Who in my family line has experienced this and can help me through it?
Like
now, there's
Mulan.
Exactly.
Oh,
like
there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
There are some ancestors I don't want help from. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Pass.
Well,
and
but
there are other
they're gonna
ancestors.
figure that
Yes.
out. They're going to figure
Yes.
that out. They're going to be like, hey, she needs this voice right now.
Yeah.
And this guy's going to be like, hey.
I need positive energy around me. for
No, I
sure.
believe. I don't know if we need to just bring you back on this, but I want to talk about
We're gonna come back
times
a million times.
times on Earth. How many
Mhm.
times people are on Earth?
Mhm.
Should that be another episode?
So I will just say right now, because overall I don't know the answer.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, everyone varies. So Sun is saying to me right now, 382 lifetimes on Earth. Now, I don't know if he's joking or some truth in that, as in we can't actually say how, because
he says you've been 382.
No,
or
he's
Sun.
just Sun
He's
just
putting out
says
a
in
Sun's
general.
being funny.
People have 382 lives. He's just being
thanks,
funny.
bud.
He's just being funny because we can't actually say, because everyone's different. I will say at this point in Earth's history, there are many people who've been so many times to help evolve Earth is an incredible library.
Mhm.
Earth is an incredible classroom that is unique, one of a kind, and to be able to get on Earth in this time period is huge. And there are some people, it's their first time because they got in, because they are needed.
They got the
now.
golden ticket from,
They are
a
from
reason.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
They are needed now. So there are also walk-ins. I don't know if you've heard of walk-ins.
I haven't.
There are walk-ins where, say, someone has lived 32 years and they have a serious accident or a car accident. They could die. Their spirit leaves. Another spirit comes in. If you Google walk-ins and you watch some documentaries or something, I have not done this, by the way, but I'm sure they're out there, and people will tell their stories of like they had to figure out how to be on Earth, and their husband might be like, "Who are you?"
Like if
Who
they had
are
amnesia,
like they're
and
like
it's perceived as
like they're a different person, but they've come in for
TBI
but they're very different person.
Wow.
And so that's an interesting thing. So I imagine, and it feels like
that would be so
us
strange.
three, it'd be very, very strange. And it's a unique situation. And I know only a little bit about it. But us three, we've been here a lot. Our children have been here a lot. And also one of the things, you don't know, Shelly, one of the things that I've been working with more is non-speaking autistic people. So have you listened to the telepathy tapes?
Oh, yeah.
So
good.
There's a woman who came to me and said, "Hey, I'm connecting with a spirit, Winifred, and she talks with some of the kids on the hill. Will you see if you can connect with Winifred?" And so I did this in a group of 6 women, and Winifred is... So imagine talking with a human and I'm asking her questions. This human is answering me, but she happens to not be in human form.
Yeah.
She's a spirit. Winifred is very, very, very easy to connect with, really gentle soul, and she works with non-speaking autistics children. And then someone asked, "Do you work with Down syndrome?" She's like, "Nope, I do not." But after working with her, then someone asked me to be on a podcast and channel her in the podcast. So I did. And she brings in a lot of really beautiful information. After I did that podcast, 2 hours after the podcast, like it's not out, it hasn't been edited yet, a woman from London contacted me and said, "Hey, I hear you're channeling a spirit to speak with non-speaking autistic children. I have a son. He's 12. Can you see if you can connect with him?" And I said, "Well, I'll see. I haven't done this with Winifred. She and I have just connected twice. We'll see if we can do it." And so I love this story. This is so cute. So I'm on Zoom with this woman in London, and her son is not on. He's in somewhere else in the house. And so Winifred came in and told me what to say. He's pacing, he's making his sounds, he's connecting with himself, whatever he's doing.
Self-regulating.
And right, a lot of self-regulating. And I think he was 12 or 13, something like that. And so Winifred came in, and I was going to tell the mom to do something specific. And Winifred knows this is how you do it. You tell the mom to connect with the son right now. Just feel him. And which was super easy for her. She just thought of her son.
Yeah.
And for her to ask out loud the question she had for her son. And then I would receive the answer. I was like crossing fingers, please let this work, please let this work. Because the woman was trying to figure out what school to put her son in, because the school he was in, he needed to move. And it's so hard.
It's so hard to make a decision for another human.
Yes.
Without their, and this, I debate this all the time. I'm making lifelong decisions for you, and I don't know what you want.
Right? Yes. Yes. So she has this big question. She asks him out loud, what do you want? And I'm like, okay, we're going to hear the school. We're going to hear what he wants. He goes, I want a new TV. And she puts her head down and she goes, oh my God. And I was like, what? What does that mean? And she goes, his iPad broke. He's calling it a TV. His grandma got some Amazon Fireball or something. It doesn't have his 2 favorite shows. And he's really, really upset. And I'm cracking up. So what happens was I thought Winifred would tell me what he said, but because Winifred was there, I had a connection with the son. And so the son, I heard him say, I want a new TV. And I said, will you give him an answer? Are you going to get him a new TV or not? Just give him the answer. And she's like, I will get him a new TV.
If you won't, I will. Come on, Dolly.
Now, what school do you want?
And I said, will you be more specific? Because if you ask a 12-year-old what they want, gumballs, like what, I don't know, a new friend, like what? And she goes, what school do you want me to go? What school do you want me to choose for you? And he still needed a more, and I said, say the names of the schools, this school or this school.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm fine with either one. And I said, okay, let's get even more specific. What happens if you stay at this school? And he said some things. And I said, what happens? She asked him, what happens if you go to the new school, which she felt like she had to send him to, but didn't want to? And he said, I will miss my best friend.
Done.
And I said, who's his best friend? She goes, she's at his current school. And so it was just taking it step by step. And I'm really grateful for Winifred to make that possible, because I have done sessions with families with autistic non-speakers before, and I've worked on connecting, and it's been difficult for me. But with Winifred, it was easy. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to do that again.
No.
I'm hoping so, because I'm working more and more.
Okay, I want to say, I think it's so interesting that you're using the terminology non-speakers, because they are speakers. They are sharing their terminology, but like you're saying there, instead of saying nonverbal, because verbally you can speak in many ways. You can do nonverbal hints, but non-speakers means that they just can't articulate.
Yes. So they
what
are
they want to say, but they are able to communicate
absolutely
in nonverbal ways and verbal ways. I mean, they can scream, they can shout, they can also, but they're just not speaking the language that we're ready to listen to necessarily. We're some of us, like with kids on the spectrum, we may hear their message, or we're not quite ready for their message. So they might, like, people call it, you generally say nonverbal, but I'm like, but there is a verbal aspect to it.
Have you ever met a totally quiet?
I know. So I was like, no, I'm resonating with this term non-speaker, because it's basically language is spoken. Now, are we ready to hear it? Are we ready? So it's just, that's an interesting terminology. I like that you're using that. So Shelly had to leave the room real quick. You were talking about her spiritual guides, and I know you have to leave soon, but we want to get you back on to go deeper into this. And I know she's going to want to hear about our dad. But my question is this. I feel like you're very spiritual. How do people resonate their traditional religious beliefs with spiritual growth? Like,
beautiful question.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own journey with that. And my dad was a minister. He was Disciples of Christ, which is like Presbyterian. He often preached in Presbyterian churches. And he raised us with 2 phrases: seek God first and always listen to your inner voice, which was perfect for me. Plus, my stepdad was a scientist, which was perfect for me.
Wow.
So I had this one, I felt actually very balanced with connecting with an outside being who's outside energy that's also inside of me, and also listening to myself, my own power, my own choices, my own discernment. And even though my discernment, my choices can be messy along the way, I'm still learning and growing. So when people come to me, I might have people who are Catholic, atheist, Muslim, whoever it might be. Everyone's in their own journey with it. I can have two Catholics that have completely different experiences. One is very much still in a vibrant, healthy church, and one is in trauma land from it. And so for me, I am so very, very comfortable with other people's where they are. They may believe in nothing. They may believe in everything. They may believe in psychic stuff. They may not believe in psychic stuff. I have clients who come to me and go, I just want to give you a heads up. I don't actually believe in any of this. I'm like, great, good, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I'm very relaxed in my body with wherever people are.
You're so zen. I'm so drawn to you. I'm like, she's here.
So sweet, Shelly.
I could tell.
And so I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does. It does. Okay, before we let you go, what is
how do people know?
No, what is it? Let's do it real quick. What is Dad saying to Shelly real quick?
So this is not for the podcast. It is really private.
Okay, yeah. I assume. Hey,
stop being an asshole.
Yeah, stop being an asshole.
Give your sister more money.
Yeah. Hey, how do people find you?
Yeah.
So I have a website, which is my name.
And we already have it in the...
Perfect. Yeah. NicoleParish.com. I also, for many years, it's really important to me to always give something free to the community. So for over the last year, thank you. For over the last year, I've been giving a free intuitive development circle. And it is the first Tuesday of every month. And except this August, because I'm taking August. Except this August, because I'm taking August off for my boyfriend's birthday. Woohoo! And so every month is a different topic. And what I love is to hear people's voices and stories. So I'll talk, sure, I'll share something, but then I'm like, what about y'all? What are your experiences?
Yeah.
What have you, or I might guide through a meditation, or we practice giving each other readings, very, very, very simple stuff. It's okay if nothing comes through, but something always does. And going, okay, we just did this meditation to meet our spirit guides or an angel. How was that for you? And some people be like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Other people go, I felt nothing and I feel sad. I'm like, okay, let's work. Like, I want to hear everything. I want to hear it all. And so I give the intuitive development circle, and then I give a variety of classes that people can look on my calendar on my website for that. I also have a Facebook group. I think it's Nicole Parish Psychic. And every time I'm about to do something, I'll post on that.
Okay,
but I don't do social media. I
know.
I got really inspired by my 23-year-old. She calls me. She goes, Mom, I took everything off my phone. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, I took Insta off. I took TikTok. So then I was so inspired. I took Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Netflix, Hulu. I took it all off my phone.
I know.
I am so my goal is to have
free time.
And I'm like, this is amazing.
Read a book.
So I'm reading so much more. I love books. So every now and then I'll go on my laptop, maybe once a week, and I'll go on Facebook and I might post something and see if I was invited to any scandalous parties. That's it. But I don't do social media on purpose. Like none. And
it's a new movement.
I love it.
So one of the classes I just gave was a 4-week summer intuition club, and that was fun. So it was 4 weeks online. And then, energetic hygiene. I'll give classes on just stories, like clearing entities and demon. How I got into entity clearing was I lived in an apartment building for 4 years, and it was haunted. And it went, and we were for 4 years we were attacked, and other people in the apartment complex attacked, all the way up to 2 people dying.
Oh,
I mean, it's movie worthy. And I heard about it just like a year ago. I heard about that apartment complex. Someone was like, there was an apartment a haunted apartment complex on the east side. I was like, yep. And I
I lived there.
Yeah, and I lived there for 4 years.
Oh
And
my
that's where I
gosh.
learned how to do my clearing.
Your
through
clearing.
that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was that's a whole other story.
no,
Wow.
yeah.
Will you
Yeah.
come back?
Yeah.
I would
Join us?
love to. I'd love to. Thank you
Okay.
so
This has
much.
been a blessing, Nicole.
Texas.
Yeehaw.